Hello people, I am Srivardhan and welcome to College Dunia's MBA channel. If you are a current MBA student or an MBA aspirant, then this place is just for you. Today we will cover things like entrance exam preparation, admission process, placement and definitely campus life. So this is a special student interview series where we have with us Srivardhan from IIM Trichy. He is from the batch of 2022 to 24. So, hi Srivardhan, I welcome you to this interview series of College Dunia.
Hi Shruti, thank you so much.
Yeah, so viewers, before we begin with this interview, please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it right now. And Srivardhan, to you, my first question is, could you please briefly tell us about your profile and about yourself, like your 10th, 12th and CAT percentile, etc.
I am Srivardhan from Hyderabad. So through all my schooling, 12th and graduation, I did it from Telangana itself. Mm-hmm. So my academic profile is as follows, like 998 kind of profile. So I did my graduation in mechanical engineering from Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science, Warangal. And my CAT percentile is close to around 97.4 something.
Amazing. Yeah. So do you have work experience or are you a fresher?
So the thing is, I worked for around 9 to 10 months in a startup where I tried to explore how much am I interested towards marketing, to know really that whether I really belong to this field or not. So I am somebody who believes that I should not come to a conclusion without just giving it a try. So I worked in a small pharma startup where I learned the basics of marketing and all. So, and then after that 9 months stint with that firm, I believed that yes, this is where I belong. And then to get some corporate exposure, I shifted to an IT firm, Cognizant, where I worked as a programmer analyst. Okay. And then in my second attempt of CAT, I cracked the CAT and then I got into IIM.
Okay. So for the first time when you were preparing for CAT, did you take any coaching classes?
Yes, I did take coaching from Krakow. But during the second attempt, I did not take any coaching. I just backed myself based on the preparation that I had during the first attempt. And then I had some notes which I prepared during my first attempt. I took the help of YouTube and then I bought a test series from Time. And through that, I was able to clear the CAT in my second attempt.
Okay. So, as you said, second attempt, you just followed the process of giving mocks, analyzing them, and that was your preparation methodology. So, कोई consistent pattern आप follow करते थे? आपका कोई schedule था या how were you doing it?
So basically, like everybody says that we should start our preparation with a mock and then keep on giving mocks and analyze your performance. So basically, I don't trust the regular process every time. I try to do something which suits me because I believe that that's where our efficiency maximizes. Right. So I always knew that my strength was quants from the beginning because being an engineer, we usually are very good with numbers. Right. So I believed quants is my strong zone and I used to cater very little time to that. But during my first attempt, I realized that LRDI is my weakest zone. Because I used to do well in that section also, but I used to take a lot of time. So that's when I realized that I have to pay more attention to this. And I used to treat every LR puzzle as a puzzle, every LRDI question as a set, as a puzzle. So while I was working, I used to take 15 minutes of break after every hour. And I used to take up a set and I used to work on that set in that break. And I used to put a timer beside me and check how quickly I was able to solve it. So that's how in a day, I used to solve around 10 to 11 LRDI sets. And before sleeping, I used to work on a few quant puzzles. And every Saturday and Sunday, I used to make sure that I work a lot on VARC. Because that's also one section where I believe that I'm not very good at. Not very good, I'm good, decent, but not very good. So I used to only cater Saturday and Sunday for that. This is a very unorthodox kind of preparation pattern I used to follow. But it worked for me.
Usually लोग कहते हैं कि consistently week में 2 mock 3 mock तो देने ही चाहिए and usually you have been told that continuously दो regularly करो. This is something that I also feel is right and I also think कि suitable है because every candidate is different and you should prepare according to your strengths and weaknesses accordingly. Yeah, true.
मतलब to a point of time मैं भी यही मानता था during my first attempt when I didn't clear. I felt like probably this is why, because I did not follow the pattern that everybody used to say that this is the regular set that you have to follow. I used to think that this is why I did not clear it. But at the end of the day, sticking to your strength, following your own schedule works for, I believe that it works for well for me. So I stuck to that only and it worked for me. So I would advise everybody the same thing, like try different methods and test which one works for you and then stick to it. There's no fixed pattern for everything.
Correct. So Srivardhan, you only gave CAT or you appeared for any more B-School entrance exams?
Yeah, so like all MBA aspirants, I was also one of them who did not want to leave any option getting into a good B-School. So applied for every exam that came my way. I gave SNAP, I gave NMAT, I gave CAT, I gave IFT, I gave ZAT, and whatnot. I was almost about to give CMAT also, and but then I realized that I got my CAT results by then. So I was very confident that with this percentile and my profile, I was sure that I would get into one of the new IIMs. Right. So I did not give an attempt again, but I cleared NMIMS Mumbai, and I don't remember very properly whether I cleared SI Symbiosis Pune, but I am very sure I cleared SCM HRD. Okay. And
so Srivardhan, NMIMS Mumbai or SCHMRD are also considered as one of the top B schools in India. So why did you make a choice of going to IIM Trichy over these or any other B schools that you got a call from or you converted?
Firstly, I was looking at various parameters actually. One thing is I wanted a very good campus, like campus life. I wanted a very good campus life. So when I looked at NMIMS, I felt that the campus life is a little lacking over there. And also being in Mumbai and not having a fixed hostels, I felt it would get a little expensive for me. So I thought, and I even wanted an IIM brand. I wanted to be a part of this chain of B schools which are known to be the best in the country. So I thought I wanted to have that brand with me. So that's one of the major reasons why I chose IIM Trichy over NMIMS and SCM HRD. And on the top of that, I even converted IIM Ranchi, Raipur and Trichy also, and all other baby IIMs. Right. But choosing IIM Trichy over Ranchi and Raipur is that Ranchi did not have a permanent campus till then by the time we joined. Yeah. And I even spoke to a couple of alumni from Ranchi and Trichy. So their reviews were also like, obviously they would speak good of their college, but then somehow I felt that Trichy would be a better option for me because it had a fully functional campus. Their placements were also decent, like Ranchis and Trichys were on par with each other. And then Trichy always had that brand because Trichy is considered to be an educational hub of Tamil Nadu because NIT Trichy, IIT, IIT Trichy, NLU Trichy, IIM Trichy. So it always had that name and brand of being an educational hub. So considering all these factors and me being from Hyderabad, Trichy is comparatively closer to my than Ranchi.
You actually covered all the 3 or 4 important parameters for the students. That is academics, the campus life, placements. Yeah, true.
And also considering one more important thing that I am not very comfortable in staying in places which are very cold, considering my health also. So I felt IIM Trichy would be the perfect option, that's the reason why I chose IIM Trichy overall.
So how is weather your IIM Trichy? Like, I'm not aware much about the weather. As you said, you're not comfortable cold, so I just want to know more about it. Kaisa weather hai?
It's hot as it's always hot. Garam माहौल है यहाँ पे हमेशा.
तो दिल्ली वाले लोग जो दिल्ली की सर्दी देख के आते हैं, वो लोग रह पाते हैं वहाँ पे?
आराम से रह पाते हैं. But the thing is, this place is very pure. Like the thing is, there are no way. Like what do you say? There's no way pollution around here because the college is situated very far from the city.
Okay, so कितना दूर है college city से?
करीब 20-25 किलोमीटर दूर है. 20-25 kilometers away from the city.
And then every time you need to go out to get something, so how do you guys travel?
No, we get JioMart and all. If for food and all, we have Swiggy and Zomato, which delivers food. There's a mart in the campus where we can buy all the necessary stuff and all.
So campus mein you have a mini mart kind of thing, stores, you have to order everything.
Yeah. We have a mini mart in the campus where we get most of the essentials like soap, paste, everything, like daily essentials, everything. We need not order anything from outside. There's a salon in the campus. There's a wellness center.
All the amenities.
All the amenities are there. So even if you look at the sports facilities wise also, we have one of the best sports facilities among all the IIMs. So that's also one of the reasons why I chose Trichy.
And how is the hostel and mess? Because now that we're talking about all the facilities, so hostel being one of the most important, I'm very sure even the viewers or all the people who are willing to make a choice between all the IIMs would want to know this.
So the thing is, I would like to be very honest here, and also me being from the committee which manages all these hostels, so I have to be very honest. So firstly, what happened was, for our seniors, this was a single occupancy system that was going on. But last year, Trichy had increased its batch size by close to around 150 or something. So all the single occupancy hostels were converted into double occupancy.
So now you have double occupancy rooms at IIM Trichy.
Double occupancy.
Right.
So now we have double occupancy, and probably this will again get into single occupancy because the construction of new hostel is going on. So whoever is willing to join IIM Trichy, you can consider this option also, that now it's double occupancy for a year or so, but definitely it would get into single occupancy in the future. And the mess food, I would say, is decent because we came from hostels where the food was pathetic. So
and usually IIMs, no matter where they are in the location, you get all kind and sort of menus and foods, right? Like North Indian, mix of South Indian, everything.
The mess menu is also like that. It is kind of balanced.
So do you have any, combinations of food? You have varieties which are served to all, just say breakfast mein North Indian, South Indian differently, veg, non-veg differently, or state foods, a mix of them. How is it?
It's nothing like that as such, but the breakfast is mostly like the southern side of breakfast only you get here. Mostly like on Monday you get poha, on Monday dosa, idli, vada. So these kind of, mostly they are towards the they belong to the South Indian breakfast only, but the lunch and dinner is very it's mixed of both North Indian and South Indian. But non-vegetarian food also, like what happens is the mess offers extras where you can purchase if you need, like they offer a veg special item and a non-veg special item every day. If you like it, you can purchase it, and the money will be deducted directly from your mess term balance. So you would not even know that you are purchasing it every day. But at the end of the day, you would definitely pay a lot of money in advance. So they will cut the money and return the amount back to you. So it's very comfortable system over here. So the food also, I would say, is decent. It's not very bad, not extremely good. It's decent.
And how is extracurricular life at IIM Trichy? Like what clubs, communities do you participate in, and how is it?
So the thing is, we have a club and committee, like all the IIMs and all B schools. We have a club dedicated to all the academic clubs. Like there's a club dedicated to marketing, supply chain, operations, and all. That is obviously there. And apart from that, we have a drama club. We have cultural committees. We have close to around 6 committees and 12 to 13 clubs. And we even have clubs which accommodate to the a social well-being club. Like we have a club named Elixir, which is responsible for all the social responsibility activities that goes on out of the campus. We have a club which promotes inclusivity, diversity, and equity in the campus.
So each of the clubs have different events and things going on. So how you guys manage academics in this, and how does it go?
So I would say that there is not even a single week that has gone till date after we came into the campus where we didn't have an event going on by any one of the clubs. Every week we have some or the other random event going on in the campus. Sometimes we even have 2 to 3 events per day. It all depends on how you manage your time. So what do you want to prioritize? There are certain people who did not participate in any, and there are people who participate in almost everything. So it gets hectic at times. There were only a very couple of weeks where we did not have any work and we were just lying back in our rooms and watching random shows on Netflix and Amazon Prime. But most of the times we love to participate in those events because at the end of the day you can win some money and also learn something. So it's always fun. So
it's always fun.
It's always fun. Apart from that, there's a cultural fest that goes on that happens in the end of Jan. And a leadership conclave, there's a business conclave. So there are a lot of learning experiences that happen throughout the year, and also if you consider this as a fun experience, also it is fun while learning.
Right. So IIM Trichy offers many programs like PGP, and then you have HR also differently.
Right.
So, but for first year, everybody has core subjects, right?
Right.
So routine must be somewhat similar for all the students. So how does a routine day at IIM Trichy look like?
Routine day, see, our classes usually start at 8:30 in the morning and end by 1:45. So as a regular day, we only have 3 classes per day. And each class is of 1.5 hours. So it usually 3 is the maximum classes that we have on a day. At times it might be even 2 or 1. So if it's a guest faculty, the classes might even be in the evening at 6:30, 7:30 also. It depends on the availability of faculty and the schedule also at times. But mostly it doesn't get, the classes end by 9 in the evening, 9 p.m. by night. But luckily our classes are in the morning and those get completed by 1:45. And after that, we have loads of assignments, quizzes to prepare for, projects to submit, and evening we go have some snacks or play badminton, cricket, swim for a while, sit at the lake. We have a beautiful lake in our campus. We sit at the lake, listen to some music, come back, then do our assignments. So we all have that 11:59 submission here. So we have to submit our assignments. Yes. So we make sure that we submit our assignments by 11:59 and then peacefully go to sleep by 12:30 or 1. So that's how
that's how hectic and how crazy fun it looks like.
In the beginning it looks very difficult, but then as the days goes on, you enjoy this process, you love this process. And after 2 years,
you get used to it and you start liking it.
You love it. I just can't say like, you will love it.
Amazing. So for Trichy also, every student has to go under the CAP interview process. So I would like to know more about how was your CAP interview?
I would say my CAP interview was a little bit kind of a stress interview. Because like everybody says, I've been talking to a lot of my seniors and a lot of people who are studying in the IIMs about how the interview goes on, and I've received a lot of inputs from them that you have to drive the interview, you can take the interview to this. Like they gave me that you can steer the interview in whichever direction that you want. But there are certain cases where you might turn unlucky also, because you become Stuart Broad and the batsman becomes Yuvraj Singh. Whichever ball you bowl, they hit for a 6. That was a kind of situation where I wasn't. My interview was totally a stress interview. All interviews, it started with tell me about yourself.
Okay, so your interview was online, right? Because 22 to 24 batch.
Yes,
so when you entered, how many panelists were there for conducting the interview?
There were 3 panelists.
Okay. All of the 3 were professors?
2 panelists only, and both of them were professors.
Okay. Did you ever get to see them ever in the campus again? Did you meet or recognize them?
No, the thing is, CAP consists of 9 IIMs, right?
Okay.
So what happens with this process is randomly one panel from all the 9 IIMs might take your interview. So as far as I remember, my interview was taken by 2 professors from IIM Sambalpur.
Okay, so nobody from IIM Trichy was conducting
Nobody
it.
from IIM Trichy. But most of my friends in IIM Trichy were interviewed by the same professors that teach us. So they go and confront them, saying that, sir, you asked me these questions in the interview.
So randomly you get allotted, and anybody and everybody can.
Yes. Yes. So my panel consisted of 2 professors. So tell me about yourself. I expected that the questions would be directed based on my work ex or based on my academic background, but none of the questions were like that. All the questions were mostly on the current affairs, and 2 to 3 questions were asked related to my undergraduate background. There were a couple of questions, and they asked me to explain about my undergraduate project. They asked me why did I choose that project. And later on, as I mentioned, that one of my hobbies is reading mythology, reading and writing articles related to mythology and its application in the management field. So they asked me a lot of questions on mythology, and they went very deep into it. And I did not expect that they would have such huge knowledge in mythology. Though I was able to answer all the questions, but I felt that they were really trying to stress over that fact. And a lot of questions were also based on topics which I would be studying post MBA. They asked me what is ERP1, ERP2, enterprise resource planning. They asked me about economic order quantity, which we studied here in supply chain. They asked me a lot of topics like bullwhip effect that we'll be reading in supply chain. I was confused I was a little terrified about, because I never heard those topics. I was going to a B school and I was expecting that I would be studying those in the B school, but they were asking the same questions to me in the interview. But then at one point of time, I comforted myself saying that this might be a stress interview. True. And for every question that they were asking related to the supply chain management and all, I politely answered them saying that I don't know it, and I would be definitely trying to learn it after the interview is done. So maybe that's the reason why I have cleared the interview.
So what was your approach towards the interview when you were preparing for interviews? And specifically, how did you tackle CAP? Was it the same way that you expected?
Definitely not the same way as I expected, but I would say that don't take a chance by not preparing, because you never know questions will be directed from which domain or which topic. So be very well. I made sure that I was very well versed with everything that I was presenting in front of them, like every single data that I was giving them. I was very well versed that very well versed about everything that I was giving them to ask me. So what I used to do was, every day when I used to get time, I used to take a paper and write down the questions. I myself used to consider myself as an interviewer, and somebody named Srivardhan Kaushik with such a profile came and sat in front of me. What all questions I would ask him. So I used to write all those questions and find the answer for all those questions.
Amazing.
And luckily, CAT result was declared on Jan 6th, and my interview was on March 12th. So I had ample amount of time in between. So I used to do all this work every day. Like I used to take a paper, write down what all the questions that I might get from the interviewers on certain topic, find answers for those questions. And I used to talk to my father, tell that these are my answers. If you were the interviewer, would you get satisfied by these answers? So definitely I was not trying to fake anything, but I used to get it confirmed from my father and a couple of my seniors to know whether I was really sounding genuine or not. So that's how I used to prepare. I prepared on the current affairs, my undergraduate background, my research topic, my project, and my interests, because that plays a major role. Because probably studies you might be forced by your parents or you got into peer pressure, but interest is something which you do out of love. And if you're not good at it, it gives an impression to the interviewer that you're faking it. So I made sure that if I'm really not very much into that interest, I don't put it in front of them.
True, correct.
So I made sure that I know everything related to my interests, and then I approached the interview.
Amazing.
Though it didn't turn out the way I expected, though the questions were not in the way I expected, it gave me a lot of confidence to approach the interview because I was very well prepared.
So preparation is necessary for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So one last question from my side would be, after the results are declared, even you get calls from various IIMs even after the CAP results are declared. So you have ample amount of time in your hand, like a month or so, right? Before you actually get on the campus and start with MBA. So what do you suggest that students should do, or what did you do in that time after your interview or after your results were out till you get into the campus actually?
So what I did was, being an engineer, I really felt that once I get into a B school, there will be subjects like finance, economics, which I don't even know the ABCs of. And also I would be using Excel very extensively. So I thought I should go through the basics of all these subjects. So luckily I had my sister who is doing her BBA. So I used to take her help. I used to take her textbooks and go through the basics, and I used to ask her, what is this term, what is that term? And I started learning Excel on my own, going through the YouTube tutorials. I started learning Power BI. I made sure that, because I knew that once you get into an IIM, you don't get time to learn softwares and things over here. Like, you don't get good time to learn Excel and Power BI over here out of the busy schedule that you have. So I made sure that I had the basics before coming here. So I spent my time mostly like that, keeping it very productive. So that actually made a lot of difference here, because we had statistics in the first term and people were little struggling to use Excel, and I was pretty comfortable by then. So I would definitely advise everybody to utilize that time, free time, to get better than the crowd, because in an IIM or any B school, you would be competing with the best of the best in the country. So you have to be very well.
Yeah, so Srivardhan, it was amazing talking to you, and you shared a lot of information, insights with us, and I'm very sure the viewers will also take help from this video. After watching this video, will benefit. And definitely, viewers, you can reach out to him on LinkedIn, as he told me before, that you can reach out to him on LinkedIn, Srivardhan Kaushik, and also he'll be your senior maybe next year when you get into the college, so he can help you in some sort of ways. Thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to like, सब्सक्राइब एंड कमेंट बिलो दिस वीडियो. मुझे कमेंट करके बताओ कि आपको नेक्स्ट वीडियो में कौन सा कॉलेज चाहिए. I'll cover that in the next video, and then stay tuned. Bye bye.